You're giving topic to Aruna. Study your place. Your woman outside with cousin whole day. You can't see face. The story end up on ladies' room. You disappear without trace. Voila. If all she know is papi show and stress outside is love in the room. If you wanna have to girl, take care, they bust the files. Well, if it's in her loving tongue, baby, it's love in the room. Don't whine on me here, lady. It's love in the room. If he wanna fight and stray, it's love in the room. We playing with House Monday in the ladies' room. Oh, na na na. It's only love in the ladies' room. It's love in the room. It's love in the room. Well, if it's in her loving tongue, baby, it's love in the room. Don't whine on me here, lady. It's love in the room. If he wanna fight and stray, it's love in the room. We playing with House Monday in the ladies' room. Don't worry, us. She's safe. You're giving topic to Aruna. Study your place. Your woman outside with cousin whole day. You can't see face. The story end up on ladies' room. You disappear without trace. Voila. If all she know is papi show and stress outside, it's love in the room. If you wanna have to girl, take care, they bust the files. Well, if it's in her loving tongue, baby, it's love in the room. Don't whine on me here, lady. It's love in the room. If he wanna fight and stray, it's love in the room. We playing with House Monday in the ladies' room.
And we're back in the room once again. It is Monday, September 8th. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to your ladies' room for today. A special morning to all folks viewing on YouTube. Special morning to you if you're viewing on Facebook. You're viewing the live stream. And if you're listening via radio 95.1, 95.3, or you are listening via the Power app, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are listening or viewing the show this morning. What all this opening first? Lord. Cruddy, Tatiana want to be looking good. Yay. Telling me about us, we outside. I got a special visit yesterday. 3101. Morning, ladies and problems. Hope you all are doing well. Happy Monday. Shout out to all those celebrating, like my mom. Yeah, all the Virgos in the building. And my brother, he's also celebrating happy birthday, Colin Neptune. And of course, my mom, Maria Neptune, celebrating her Earth Strong today. And she's 50 for how many years? I swear, it's like, thank God I know it because, I've had to do stuff for her. So I know her real age. But it's like her age stopped going up after 50. And I swear when I get to 50, I'll be doing the very same thing. After that, it's 50. Every year, it's 50. But I want to wish her a happy day. One of the strongest women that I know, who managed to make a life without having much or a lot of money or a lot of support, but still managed to do it. And, when you look back at, how they managed to make it work. And now we have people who give up so easily, and life at this stage, sometimes it's, sometimes you think you have less, but you have more, and then you think you have more and you have less. But back then, they literally had to do everything from scratch. There was no social media. You could reach out and ask people for help, or family members who traveled. If you're lucky, Christmas time, you get a 20 or 50 US in an envelope, and you made that do. You get a little barrel once in a blue moon. But for the most part, they made it work. The little they had. It's like our mothers back then, they were miracle workers. How they managed to feed you? It's like, Jesus with the 5 loaves, how much fish? 2 fish and the 5 loaf of bread? Like, they literally had nothing, but you had something. And I think that's what, made us stronger and, made us more determined to do better. Because when you see the struggle for yourself firsthand, it's not something you want. Because sometimes when I say to people, listen, I ain't eating callaloo soup. You ain't getting me to drink callaloo soup. Callaloo soup, pumpkin soup, callaloo and rice, cook up. Maybe if you're lucky, piece of saltfish. If you're lucky, piece of pigtail, a 1/4 pound pigtail. If you're lucky, you know the pigtail in the pot because they sent you to buy it. You know the saltfish in there because they sent you to buy it. But for the most part, callaloo soup was like a staple because everybody had a drain in the back of the yard with callaloo bush in it. So you had callaloo and rice, callaloo soup. It's like, stew callaloo. It's like, it's something that as soon as I'm able to find my way, and although it's good for you because they were healthier back then because everything came from the yard, 2 yard full, you give them corn, you know what you're feeding them. You grew your corn, you had your peas, you had your tomatoes, your beans, your cabbage, your lettuce, your bok choy, everything you made it was in your backyard. So you ate from the land. It wasn't filled with a whole set of chemicals. So that's why when I look at her, I'm like, this lady 70 years. And she's still strong. She's still up and running, barring, illness and what have you, little that she's dealing with. But for the most part, she has worked all her life. So, sometimes when you can't, if they need you, there's no way you could say, no, I can't. Even if you're on your last, you have to make sure that they're okay. So it's really, the meat was for flavor for us, right, Chanel? You would know because we grew up in the same place around the same time. Yeah, the meat was flavor. The meat was for the parents. So yeah, so when you can, it's sometimes it's sad when you see how people treat their parents. And when they're gone, y'all are boo-hoo and sobbing, what have you. But most of you don't pay attention to your parents who really made a lot of sacrifices for you to be able to do what you're doing now. And y'all will just throw them in some home, turn your back on them, and not even visit, not even look at how they're doing, why they're doing. You just turn your back on them, and then when you hear they're gone, everybody long tears and what have you. The least you can do is to make their last days a little easy if you can. I know everybody's having a hard time, everybody's, struggling, but the least you can do, even though you may not be able to do it in cash, you can do it in kind. Spend time with them, Go sit with them even though you have them at whatever home for the age or whatever. Go spend some time with them. I've heard complaints of children who put their families, put their mothers, fathers in these homes and turn their back and don't even look for them, don't even come visit, So although they say, having children is good, it's no guarantee that they're going to be there for you in your last days. But either way, if you are those who have yours around you, give thanks. Give thanks. And on that note, we press. A lot to talk about this morning. A lot happened on the weekend. And I don't like Mondays for that because I'm easily flustered and I get overwhelmed easily when everything comes at me. So I've had to learn to take things one at a time, put them in different compartments and work at it one at a time instead of trying to deal with it all at once. And that sort of falls in line with the piece that I wrote this morning on my Facebook page. But before we get to that, just want to say good morning to those of you who join me every day. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Marianne, good morning. Hey, Shantae, good morning. Giads and Terrace, good morning. Queen B, Rachel, Tamara, good morning. Rita, good morning. Jackie Douglas Adams, what happy Labor Day? Which happy Labor Day again? Jenny, good morning. Hey, Rachel Samuel, Unison Joseph, good morning. Marcia Glean, who else is here? Sonia Raymond Nelson, good morning. Thanks, Jackie. Good morning, Lindy. Philip, good morning. Precious Joel. Abigail. Who else is here? Pepsi Cola, good morning. Debbie Crony. 3101. Leonora, good morning. Maureen. Roxanne Scott, morning. Lisa. Morning, Nikisha. Morning, Amanda. Mr. Ray, Salvan Ray, good morning. Jackie Chaitan, good morning. Sonia Patrice Alexander, good morning. Che, good morning. Elon, Moisha, Della Fletcher, Clarina, good morning. See you living your bestest life. That's the way to do it. Hey, Vanessa, Christelle, good morning, Lou. Good morning, Shay. Morning, Raquel. Valerie, good morning. Zavid, Golden Child, Augustine. It's not the time to be sleeping at all. Riggy, big up yourself. Imon Redhead, shout outs to Kadena, shout outs to no, Jacqueline is still there. Take it out for what? Ain't going nowhere. We good. We very good. Hey Preston, good morning from Africa. Wait, in Africa, you're in the what you call the conference thing they have going on? Listen, Kalalusu would do me so good now. You're on your own with that. Mean one, no Kalalusu. You're in Algeria. Akeem, thank you so much. Akeem, good morning. Bless up, Akeem. Good people, man. Hey, Janeline. Good morning, Jackie. All right. Dawn, good morning. Hey, Andrea. Good morning. Dawn, did I send your birthday greeting? Let me do it now before we move on to the topic at hand. And there's about I have three pieces to read for you guys, but before I do, let me say happy birthday to Jill, celebrated on Friday, and to her brother-in-law Dylan Coxall and her friend Lisa Hannibal, who celebrated yesterday. So belated birthday greetings. Okay, better. Yeah, so belated birthday greetings to each and every one of you, and if you're celebrating today, happy birthday. And hey Andre, good morning. Morning Clarina, morning Ryden. I had to check you for relationship advice. I'm in a good place to give now because after all I've been through, I think I'm in a good place to give now. Hey Gabby, oh, hi guys. Anyways, yeah, we get into the meat of the matter, and like I said, we have quite a bit to touch. Hopefully we'll be able to touch all, otherwise we'll have to move on to, we'll have to continue tomorrow. I want to take time out to say condolences to, listen, I have about two, hold on, let me fill. Michael Blaze Robertson, who passed away yesterday, and it definitely sent shockwaves. And it's like, I'm starting to dislike Sundays because Sunday is supposed to be like your day of rest and unwinding and relaxation. And it's like, our Sundays is always we had Neil on 2 Sundays back now. Yesterday, we learned of the passing of Michael Blaze Roberts. And like I said, it really, really shocked a lot of us, although we keep saying that, we should not be shocked anymore by death, but it's hard not to, it's hard not to, because no matter how much you think you're no greetings for who did I not? Hey Najuma, good morning. Yeah, birthday to Ivan. I didn't even want to talk about Hurricane Ivan. Ivan was nobody to wish or even remember. That is one man I don't want to remember. Don't even call Ivan name over here, because I deliberately didn't even make mention of it, because me want to remember that is nothing to remember. So yeah, September 8th, sorry. Like about your business. I ain't 7th, 8th, whatever, which I ain't even care to remember. So yeah. So we are deeply saddened to learn of the passing of Michael Blaze Robertson, leader of the Blast Pan Wizards from River Road. And he was not only a talented panist and leader, but also a cultural ambassador who dedicated his life to the art form and to inspiring the next generation of steel pan musicians. His rhythm, his leadership, and passion for pan left an indelible mark on Grenada's musical landscape, and heartfelt condolences go out to his family, friends, the Pan Wizards, and the wider steel pan community. May his soul rest in eternal peace. And, we're still trying to come to terms with the death of Neilon, and only to have to deal with, the death of Blaze. And somebody directed me to a piece that I wanna share, because I find it to be very, very profound. Because yesterday I posted, have you ever just sat and thought of someone who passed, like a loved one? Do you sometimes just sit and think about people who passed away and reality hits you like, wow, they're really gone forever? Like, they're gone, but it just hits you that they're gone. And it happens sometimes, and I'm grateful that although I have family and loved ones that have passed, I am yet to feel that intense pain from losing a parent. And God knows, no matter how much you try to brace yourself, I just can't imagine, getting up to the day when you say, okay, this person or that person closest to you, a parent or sibling passed. I'm not sure if I'm ever going to be prepared for it, but it's inevitable and it's going to come someday. But in the meantime, we just have to continue to live. And when I posted that, someone directed me to a piece that I should read. And it goes like this regarding death. And for those of you who may have lost a loved one, it says, death is nothing at all. It does not count. I have only slipped away into the next room. Nothing has happened. Everything remains exactly as it was. I am I, and you are you. And the old life that we have lived so fondly together is untouched, unchanged. Whatever we were to each other, that we are still. Call me by the old familiar name. Speak of me in the easy way which you always used to. Put no difference into your tone. Wear no false air, solemnity, or sorrow. Laugh as we always laughed at the little jokes that we enjoyed together. Play, smile, think of me, pray for me. Let my name be ever the household word that it always was. Let it be spoken without an effort, without the ghost of a shadow upon it. Life means all that it ever meant. It is the same as it ever was. There is absolute and unbroken continuity. What is this death but a negligible accident? Why should I be out of mind because I am out of sight? I am but waiting for you for an interval somewhere very near, just round the corner. All is well. Nothing is hurt, nothing is lost. One brief moment, and all will be as it was before. How we shall laugh at the trouble of parting when we meet again. And that really, really opened my eyes, and it brought some sense of understanding where death is concerned. The author's name, oh gosh, what's his name? Hold on, let me find it. Henry Scott Holland, and it's entitled Death is Nothing at All. So, if anybody have lost somebody, maybe you can take time to read it in your own timing. Just look for Death is Nothing at All by Henry Scott Holland, and maybe you will find some comfort in dealing with a loss, someone that has passed. And speaking of someone that has passed, I came across this in the New Today, and I don't know, I'm just going to read it for reading its sake, but if it is what the New Today is saying it is regarding the death of Nealon, I hope and pray that if it is the case, this person or persons will be, their days will be miserable. They will know no peace. They will not have a moment of rest for dealing with something, for doing something. This person calling me. I can't take your call now. I'm on air. But according to this, it says the autopsy done within the past 48 hours on former Senator Nealon Franklin by well-known Trinidad and Tobago pathologist Professor Herbert Daisley has reached a preliminary conclusion that he died from antifreeze poisoning. And well-placed sources told the New Today that Professor Daisley has taken samples from the body to bring back to Port of Spain to determine what was the exact substance that was used to cause the death of Nealon, who returned to work at Customs following his stint in Parliament as a member of the opposition New National Party. At this stage, Daisley is only saying that Nealon died from multiple organ failure due to poisoning, and Daisley reportedly found substance in the body. Professor Daisley was retained by a community group to fly into Grenada to conduct the autopsy on the body, and speculation is rife that the substance found inside his body could be some kind of coolant. And when I read that, it literally sent chills through my body. And Saturday, I guess the news came out and everybody took to social media. And let me say this to people who police social media. As much as we would want people to react in a certain way, we can't tell people how to react. Social media has become a place where everybody go to vent, to express themselves, because a lot of people don't necessarily have people to talk to. So social media has become that third party that people go to. And as much as we would say, practice restraint, and, everybody isn't that, cut from that cloth where you think before you act or before you do something, and you would do everything the right way. If we all did everything the right way, there'll be nothing called sin. There'll be no need for jail. There'll be no need for magistrate if we all did the right thing at the right time. So sometimes we have to give people grace in understanding that, people will deal with certain things certain ways. It may not be your way, but we cannot necessarily dictate to people how they should react and why they should react or why they should do this and why they shouldn't do that. We would think and pray that we would, but that's not how it works. We don't all, follow the rule of thumb where you do the right thing or say the right thing all the time. Yeah? And I saw Miss Josephine made a post where it says, there is trouble in even heartbreaking news circulating. Some turn to social media, others call a friend, some remain silent. None of these responses are wrong. We all process life and death in our own way. As for the media, once the facts are confirmed, the media has every right and responsibility to report them. When information is unverified, it's appropriate to use terms like alleged or suspected. But no one should suggest that the media must wait to share truthful, verified information. And she went on further to say to young journalists, know your rights, understand your responsibility, and always pursue the truth. So there's no wrong and right way. We all process things differently. And I totally get where she's coming from. Sometimes, yes, you hope or wish people would wait. Sometimes you hear of something happening and people be like, okay, well, wait until the family, knows about it or what have you. But the thing is, it's like once it's out, there's no controlling how it gets out, or how people respond to it. There's no controlling. But if what the new today is saying happened, I sincerely hope somebody or whoever is responsible will be brought to justice. And myself and Akeem, we were talking. Was it when you called me Akeem yesterday? And I had a shout out at Akeem because he's somebody you will just call and and not no woman vibes. Always, when something happens, you would always link me, you hear so-and-so happen. And we always reason. There are people you can just reason with, whether it's on social issues, political. We would always reason. He would call me and we would reason on life, reason on things that are happening, and, Grenada and what have you. So while, even before the news of Liz, we were trying to process this whole poison conversation on Saturday, then I'm not too sure how many of you follow this young lady from Guyana, Lola. I've been following her forever, since, she was incarcerated in the BVI, wherever, whatever, been following her. And yesterday morning, first thing I got up, looked social media, saw news that she was shot multiple times. And it really, really makes you sit and think for a minute. So we're dealing with news of possibility of poison, and then seeing this young lady, children, her little business, shot multiple times, packed in her car, gunman walked up to her, came on a bike, walked up to her, opened fire on her numerous times. And she did not die. She did not die. Based on the news reports, she is still fighting for her life. And apparently one of the shots went through her jaw. So they'll have to do some surgery, whatever, in order for her to speak again. But she's somebody who speaks a lot. And she's usually on social media, always, sometimes going back and forth with people. And that is why I made a concerted effort. And I said to myself, there is nothing to be gained from going back and forth with people. And we live in a world now where no matter how much you want to share, and sometimes we can overshare, you have to restrain yourself from sharing or letting people know what's going on in your life, how happy you are, or whether you have a good man, a good woman, whether you buy a house, you buy a car. You literally have to keep it to yourself and enjoy it to yourself and not put it out there. Because the world that we live in now, people don't see when you're putting in the work. People don't see when you're making the sacrifices. And like I was saying to Akeem, there are days when I've had to say to myself, okay, which bill do I pay this month? Which one, what do I eat today? Or do I pay this bill to keep my light on or my water running, or do I eat today? There are days when I've been in that place, and I'm sure there are people who've been in a position where you've had to choose. And like Kem Jones will always say, sometimes you have to pay your bills in drips just to keep it alive. So they wouldn't disconnect you totally. So you put a 20 day, you put another day, and you buy something to eat that would stretch. And you make some soup or some callaloo soup, some pumpkin, something that will sustain you for a couple of days. And it has gotten to a point where people just see you and people just take a dislike or hate you. And my thing is, I have no problem with somebody disliking you, but give me a reason. If I've done something to you personally, then you have all rights and reason under the sun to dislike me, to hate me, whatever the case might be. But a lot of the times you find it is people that you have not wronged, people you have done absolutely nothing to. But just because the way you portray yourself, the way you carry yourself, the way other people see you, the way other people love you, the way other people appreciate you, people take a dislike to that. And they completely bypass the days of you. They know you come from struggle. They've seen your struggles. And you would see a person elevating and doing well, and you would hate that. You would wish somebody dead. You would wish all sorts manner of evil against a person, a trying person, while you who have the same 24 hours in the day, you do absolutely nothing in your life except find little ways to throw shade. And there was somebody that I saw this morning, and my finger juking me and my tongue scratching me to like tell her about herself, because these people, they thrive on showing the little shade, and these are people who seemingly have it all. Everything seems to be going well for them, but they still find it in their nature to throw a little shade, to look at ways to bring you down. They have one that I always used to take up, even when I like my belt. She would make it a mission every time I wear a belt to send a message to somebody, oh, she wearing a belt. I'm like, lady, you have children, you have husband, you have what and what going on for you. Why are you so focused on me and the little things that make me happy? And most of the times what people don't realize, people do things for a reason. So it's not just because you wear a belt for wearing belt's sake. Last week I told you guys about, I have dextroscoliosis. So sometimes if I have to stand for long periods, if I have something that supports me, like if I put a belt really tight, it really helps support my back. So it's not just for fashion, but it's fashion and health. For days I've been walking like a old woman, like I leaning to the side, literally dragging. And anybody who experienced sciatica pain knows exactly what I'm talking about. You're limping because there's nothing more excruciating than that pain. No matter what you do, painkillers do nothing. Therapy, etc. is what you have to do. And people just so focused on other people that they lose sight of their own blessings, that they forget to appreciate their blessings and be happy with their blessings. But their focus is on somebody else, how they look, how they dress, how they appear, what they're wearing, whether it's cheap, whether it's brand, whether it's... And I'm like, aren't we going to get the message that this thing called life, this is not no dress rehearsal. None of us getting out of here alive. And if you look at what's happening now, people not even getting to 50, much less 60, much less for me to say happy birthday at 70. There is no guarantee that we're getting to 70. All we have is here and now. 11:34 a.m., September 8th, that is all we have. This exact moment, I could finish here, and to next minute, y'all could hear a fall down. Knock on wood. So it's like we are not learning, and we are just so caught up in being shallow and petty. And sometimes you have to ask yourself, for what? So now it's like you have to suppress yourself. You can't share your happiness with nobody. You can't share when you have good news, like anything good that happens to you. You literally have to keep it to yourself in order to not attract bad mind, attract envy, you have to keep it to yourself. And what makes it worse, the young lady, everybody who knows her knows that she has a mouth. The young lady from Guyana, she's always on going back and forth with people, whatever. And that is one of the things you have to take into consideration when you're going back and forth with people back and forth. You don't know who's going to act stupid and get crazy one day. Because going back and forth, nobody says nice things about you when you're going back and forth. When you're cursing each other out, you look for the worst things to say. And you don't know who's going to take you seriously or whose head is going to chip. And they do what they do. So sometimes going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, it isn't worth it. It's seriously not worth it. When you see the fake pages coming, you just have to leave them be. Engaging them does absolutely nothing, because people will believe whatever they want to believe of you. Even if you come here and you sing your soul case, you pick up a Bible and you preach that you are this, you are that. If people want to believe the best of what you, they will. They want to believe the worst, they're going to believe the worst. So it makes no sense fighting to make people believe anything other than it is what it is. Like the video that I posted the other day with Lady Lava and Conscience, when they asked them if there was one rumor that you wanted to clear up. And you see how, listen to what she said and the confidence in which she said it. I don't have nothing to clear up. Absolutely nothing. As Conscience says, whatever you hear, work with it. Whatever you want to believe, believe it. You can't clear up nothing. People will believe whatever they want to believe. You'll be wasting your time, your energy, and everything trying to make people believe otherwise. So you have to stop fighting up with that. Leave them be. But getting back to the lady, she was shot 8, 10, 11, how much times? And she is still alive today. Hopefully, she's going to pull through. But then when I read some of the comments, the heart of man. And if y'all don't realize by now, we live in a scary world where the heart of man is black. There's nothing red, nothing, just blackness. I read some of the comments of people who were actually happy it happened. And I saw a gentleman saying, well, why can't you a gentleman? I saw someone saying, it's about time somebody shut her up. So I clicked on this man's page and I'm seeing this man holding up his children. Well, I think it's his children because he had them numerous pictures and referred to one as his son, first day of school, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, how are you as a parent with children? You don't know what they're going to turn out. You don't know who, why. And you hear happy that somebody got shot because they talk too much. As much as I know about, I don't know her personally, but following Lola on social media, to me, she's just all mouth. She just talks. I've never seen her like physically fighting with anybody, or I could be wrong. If everybody knows of it, correct me. But I've never seen any videos of her fighting with anybody. But all I would see her doing is cursing people out, going back and forth, cursing people out whole day. This one come, that one come. Just cursing people out. And that was about it. I've never seen her in any physical, altercation with anybody. Like I said, I might be wrong, but I've never seen any video, never came across her, because she loves to, she films literally most everything. She loves to go live, but I've never seen that part of her. But be that as it may, to wish death on somebody because they have a big mouth, according to the man, she has a big mouth. So she deserves to die because she has a big mouth. I'm like, wow. How much lower can we go? Like, as human beings are supposed to be the smarter species. We have animals making us look really, really dumb. We have animals making us look really, really, really dumb out here. that you would wish death on somebody because they talk too much or they always in rah rah and rah rah. Kevin was the same thing. Kevin was a loud mouth. Kevin would just talk and play the fool. But anybody that know Kevin and Bussin Boyle, Kevin just used to talk for talking's sake. Cuss people talk. So that's why I'm saying sometimes it is not worth it. It is not worth the back and forth. Because you don't know who's going to take it a step further when you're going back and forth and arguing and calling people out by their name and cursing people out. Just leave it alone. Just leave people be. Because people, if you think you're crazy, there's somebody crazier than you. Same thing happened to Kevin. He was gunned down in broad daylight, and up to this day, nobody was arrested or charged for his murder. He was buried and gone, and nobody was charged. Up to this day, nobody was charged. And again, according to them, same thing. His life was cut short for talking too much and cussing people and saying too much. People don't understand, okay, we do back and forth with banter on social media and we leave it there. Nope. Not everybody will be contented with just doing the back and forth on social media. Hey brother, says people nowadays making careers of trying to bring each other down. Anik says it's going live every minute is bringing death to many. Does more harm than good. Your location is always known, easy target. And there's a number of of people who died on TikTok while doing streaming live. In Jamaica, the guy that was shot while streaming live in his backyard, sitting in his yard, streaming live. Gunmen walked up to him, tried to run, but he was shot down in his yard, streaming live. We fail to realize that we are living real life out here. And a lot of stuff, there's a lot of people who believe in darkness, iniquity, whose heart is black. And they would not think twice about taking a life. It is scary, but in the same vein, all it does is make you more mindful about your whereabouts, who you associate with, who you eat from, who you drink with. Because I saw Barisha was making kicks when people say, I said, like, thank God I like to cook my own food, and there's one thing I don't drink, so nobody can hold me no drink. But the minute time you start elevating, you have to watch the company you keep. And I want to share the piece that I made this morning before I leave. For what it's worth, it might fall on fertile ground and some might take it, and others, you could dismiss it, whatever. But like I said, at some point, we have to stop and think. And it makes a big difference when you start living intentionally. You cannot be everything for everybody. You have to learn to say no to certain things, no to certain people. You have to, if you have a big, always in big gathering, big, you have to sometimes let go. It is great when you say yes to opportunities, to learning, to experience, to relationships, to challenges, but it's also necessary in numerous circumstances to say no. No, I don't want to go out. No, I don't want nothing to eat. No, I don't want nothing to drink. You have to get into the habit of saying no and being comfortable with saying no. This person is calling here. Good morning. Hello? Hold on, I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing you, caller. I don't know what's going on here, but I can't help you. I can't hear you, so I'm gonna have to cut you off. Sorry. Send me a voice note. Yeah, so we have to get into the habit of saying no. And like I said yesterday and this morning, get into the habit of not just living like a candle in the wind, but living intentionally. And living intentionally is about slowing down and taking ownership of your life. Because too often we slip into autopilot, moving from one task to the next, chasing deadlines, fulfilling obligations, and reacting to whatever comes our way. And what happens? The days blur into weeks, weeks into months, and suddenly we wonder, where did the time go? When we choose to live intentionally, we begin to design our lives instead of drifting through them. And it doesn't mean every day will be perfect or without challenges, but it does mean we are present, we are purposeful and mindful of how we use our time, energy, and attention. Ask yourself this question: am I living by design or by default? Am I creating a life that reflects my values, or am I living on someone else's terms? Intentional living is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters. It's not about perfection. It's about alignment. So instead of getting up in the morning and first thing you do, you're looking for a bacchanal, or you're looking to see what happened when you went to sleep, what you missed, begin your mornings. The person calling on the WhatsApp, I'm saying that it's unable to take the call because it's not going through. So can you please leave a voice note? The call is not coming through on the board when I punch you through. So I'm disconnecting you and you keep calling back. It's not coming through, so you'll have to send me a voice note until I find out why it's not. All right? But as I was saying, instead of first thing jumping on social media in the morning, ask yourself this: am I living by design or by default? Am I creating a life that reflects my values, or am I living on someone else's terms? Intentional living is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters. It's not about perfection. It's about alignment. So begin your mornings with stillness, with gratitude, journaling, prayer, meditation, or simply setting an intention. This grounds your day. Practice saying no without guilt, something a lot of you are fearful of. Say no without feeling guilty. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't align, you're saying no to something that does. Pay attention to your energy. Protect it. Not every argument deserves your voice. Not every debate needs your voice. Not every opportunity is meant for you. Pay attention to your energy. Make space for rest and reflection. Sometimes the most intentional thing you can do is pause. Your life is your greatest project. Every choice you make is a brushstroke on the canvas of your existence. Don't hand over the paintbrush to circumstances, fear, or outside expectations. Instead, choose boldly, love deeply, and walk mindfully. Living intentionally isn't a destination. It's a way of moving through the world. Each day you have a chance to design a life that feels meaningful, authentic, and deeply yours. And you're not a mirror. You're not following anybody's footprints. You're not following in anybody's shadow. Kathleen says when you take a stand and say no, it's because you get bright. Let it be whatever they say. Let it be whatever they say, but do it for you. And please don't let no friend bring drink for you and say someone sent it for you. Nope. Some of a little licky and greedy. Always want to drink. Kinty says, I learned from you, sis. Being alone doesn't mean you're lonely. Solitude is key. I've told you this from a long time. You know, my brother is in the chat and he sees how I live. And he often, he would live with me for a short space of time and he always used to be like, sis, how do you do it? You don't get lonely? And I'm like, nope. I enjoy my own company. I've got to a place where I actually enjoy my company more than anything else. So that it's not lonely. Being alone doesn't mean you're lonely. It means you're appreciative of your time and you enjoy your company. That's all. So being alone doesn't mean you're lonely. And the problem is too many people, that's why a lot of people get caught up in other people's business so much, is because they fear being alone. They don't like being alone. So they always have to occupy yourself. They can't have alone time. They can't spend time with themselves. They always have to be involved in something that doesn't concern them because it takes the attention away from what they're not doing. But if we were to invest more time into ourselves, pour more into ourselves, we would see so much of a difference as we move through this thing called life. That's all. The person asking the question, black heart doesn't mean necessarily means a black heart. It means darkness. It means evil. So that's what you were calling me to ask me. I think that was kind of self-explanatory. It doesn't mean it's black. It's just a figure of speech to describe somebody being evil because we always talk about the heart being red and pure. So that's what we refer to when we say somebody has a black heart. There's no idea it came from. It's a saying. When somebody does evil, like taking the life of another person, you refer to as having that. I hope you're clear now. Anyways, Kendra says sometimes you have to tell them lies you see in trouble. Yeah. Just when you ask how you're doing a day, no further explanation. Don't go into no details. Don't break down nothing your day. You're jamming. I'm jamming like Bobot. Because the minute time you go into, oh, well, I'm doing well and life is great and yada, 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 worries. That's when fight you never thought you had before comes. It's sad that you have to live this way, but it is what it is. To protect your peace and your sanity, you have to. You're there. You're all right. No further explanation. Look as though you're seeing trouble. Ade, man. Look as though you're seeing trouble. Because that's the only way you'll protect your peace. It's sad, but that's what it is. Now we see and understand what our parents were telling us about friends. Yep. Right, Chanel? From ever since, we had our own little circle. And I am grateful for that. No Titibana friend. This is not a today thing for me. That's how I've always been, because that's how we were grown. Stay in your house and play with your brother and them. That's what I used to tell you, and your cousin and them. Anyways, guys, we'll continue the conversation tomorrow, God's will. Thank you so very much for powering up. And we will continue this this conversation because I want to open up the lines and get your feedback as to, life. How is it lifing for you? All right? So we'll check in again tomorrow, guys. Have a great Monday.